Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and we're going to create what I call a flip-flop card today. And this one I've themed sort of as get well, or just if you're having a bad day, hope you feel better kind of thing. So if you look at it, you can see I've written my message here. Feeling bad? Take 2 or more and call in the morning. And then I just put yum. So I've used what look like these Hershey Kiss chocolate candies as a way to illustrate my message that you're going to want to take a few of these if you're feeling bad. I know they always make me feel better. In order to create the card, we want to look at this flipping mechanism, and it's not difficult to make. It just involves a few measurements. So let me give you all those measurements right off the bat. You want to start with cardstock that is 5 inches by 10 inches. And you want to cut out of a contrasting color that looks good together 2 cards that are 3 inches by 4 inches. And what you want to do is set this down, and in order to know where to put it, let me give you those measurements. You're going to come in 1 inch from both ends, so 1 inch from the bottom and 1 inch from the top, and you want to come in 2.5 inches from one side and 3.5 inches from the other side. And that will give you the placement for this 3 by 4 card. Trace around it, which you can see I've done with pencil. And then you want to come back and you come in 4 3/4 from this end in order to put where is going to be a score line from here and here, and come in 3 3/4 from this side and put the second score line. You're going to score, but not in the center section. You're going to score this section and here and here and here. And now you want to cut in order to free up those folds. So if I move this out of the way, I find it's less confusing for me if I erase this part, because I don't want to cut in here. So if I get rid of this part, I don't accidentally cut too far. And now you're going to go back with your Xacto knife. These, remember, are score lines, these vertical lines. So you're going to cut here and here and here, and the same on this side. You're going to cut here, here, and here. And I went ahead and I did one. I'm going to fasten my card back over the top, and now that it's loose, I'm going to put the other matching card on the flip side. And you'll see I've done that here. So here is that first score line is going to be a mountain fold, and the second score line is going to be a valley fold, and that allows you, let me make those folds nice and crisp, allows you to flip this center section that is really this 3 by 4 colored cardstock that I placed on both sides. So it's on both sides, and that mechanism allows you to create this style of card really for anything. But if you want to do the one that I did that was for sort of a get well kind of a theme, let me show you some of the embellishments that I added. I took some patterned paper and I cut it, let me find my adhesive, so that I could use it to embellish the top portion. So let me add adhesive, and I know I always say this, but I'm going to be folding along several lines here. So when you fold, you really want to make sure you have a lot of adhesive. I don't put enough because I don't want to take the time while you're busy watching. I'm going to line this up with the top and with my other cut lines. Place this down and press. And I'm going to trim off the excess. And then for a little extra color, I took this patterned paper. So I'm going to, I like to use the expensive patterned paper I use for just the little extra small embellishments that aren't very big, and that way I feel like I get a little more bang for my buck. So I'm going to come into this edge. Oops, I can tell I didn't go quite far enough with my adhesive. Let me go a little further and fasten this down. I'm going to tuck it right against the black patterned paper, and I will trim off the excess, and if I'm lucky, I'll have enough left over, oops, in order to place on the other side. If not, then I'll have another, I'll just use a fresh another strip cut from another edge. This is just an inch. Let's see, am I going to get enough in there? Oh, it's so close, but not really quite enough. So let me take another piece that is the right size, it's actually even a little more than I need. Once again, plenty of adhesive. I'm going to go right to the end. Let me make sure I get right into that edge inside there. Go right to the edge, and once again, if I turn it over, it's easy to just trim off the excess. Now for the message, if I place onto the card itself, if I fold this and I place my chocolate kiss here, I really haven't left very much room for writing my message. So I decided I would write the message on here. And it's always helpful when you write the message on something separate, so that if it doesn't turn out well, you can just rewrite the message and you don't have to start the whole card all over. I'm going to place adhesive on the back. Normally I would write the message first, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because it's faster. But you might want to write the message first, so that if you don't like how your handwriting looks, you can redo it and you haven't fastened anything down yet. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to place more adhesive on the back. And in the same position, I'm going to place the rest of the red on this other side. I'll trim off the excess. And I am going to go ahead and I'll just take my favorite white pen. You could also use black. And I want to make sure that I have enough room. Let me get it started. I'm going to write feeling bad. So, feeling bad with a question mark. And then over here, I want to leave this closed, so I make sure that I put, this is going to say take 2. So you have that part of your message. And then the final message, if I open this up, you'll see the final message is going to be something I'm going to place once again on a separate piece of paper, so that if I don't like how it looks, I haven't messed up the card, I can just do a new one of those. I'm going to put that message, the feeling bad, take 2, and then I'll have in here and call me in the morning. So the rest of the decoration is a question of adding what looks like these little chocolate delights, and I'm going to position them so that it looks like it's kind of coming out of the Hershey or the chocolate kiss. And it can go this way, or I feel like it looks best going that way. So let me put some adhesive on here, and I'll attach this so that it looks like it's coming out of the card. And trim off any extra that you don't want to show, and go ahead and position my adhesive on the back and attaches. I would write the message first, so if you don't like it, it's easy enough to put a fresh one in. But I'm going to go ahead, if you have anything else you want to say, this is where you can add another special little fun message. I said take 2 or more. If you look back at the one that I've done here, I just added the words or more to that section. And then when you go back in the following, I won't stop to glue all these in because you get the idea, but you look at how you're going to add in the final bits and pieces in order to get a really fun card. Now, I call this a flip-flop card because of this flipping mechanism, and you can see how easy it was to make, and it's so simple. By changing out the theme of what you put in this inside section, you can make it a completely different card. So I thought I would show you a couple of other choices. Here you can see that I've done one that's also yellow, but I wanted this to be where I was giving away a gift card, or sometimes if I want to send a check and I want it more personal, by having these section inside. Actually, I've used my notching tool to create notches so that you can take And you can slide a gift card in, or if you write a check, you can fold the check so that it slides into this opening as well. So this just says for you on the front, and then inside will be the gift card or the check. And this one, once again, not birthday or anything, but friendship. So to a 24 karat friend, and then inside I have room to write a more personal message to one of my many 24 karat friends. You know, the flipping mechanism on this style of card, it provides the perfect place for any number of surprise messages.